Attending high-stakes summit in Tehran with the leaders of Iran and Turkey. It comes in the wake of President Biden's trip to the Middle East, where he was pressed by regional leaders on Iran and their nuclear ambitions. For more on that, we welcome in the Senate Chairman, the National Iranian Congress, and the author of the book, Comrade Ayatollah, Amir Fkhrآور. Amir, welcome back to National Report. Thanks so much for coming on. Just what stood out to you from the president's trip overseas and how Iran was tied into those conversations?
Thank you for having me, Emma. Regarding this trip, it's very interesting because the Iranian so-called president, I'm using my word carefully because the Iranian mullahs who are in power, they are not the representative of Iran. It's 97% of the country, they are against this regime. And the Iranian so-called president, Raisi, cannot go around the world a lot. And as well as Vladimir Putin, after invaded Ukraine, a lot of his trips have been canceled. They can visit each other. Putin can come to Tehran, Raisi can go to Moscow to meet each other. And probably they want to show to the world that they are not isolated, but they are isolated. The saddest part is Vladimir Putin got his endorsement and warmest regards from supreme leader of Mullah's regime in Iran, Ali Khamenei, because of his good job probably to invade the Ukraine and kill the Ukrainian people over there. And to just let you know where this relationship goes back to, in my book, Comrade Ayatollah, I documented in 1964, Iranian supreme leader, when he was nobody at that time, he went to Ukraine, to Moscow, to Patrice Lumumba University, spy training center of KGB for 4 years. And this relationship is very interesting from then up to now. Iran is the Iranian regime is the minion of Russians.
A history there between the connection between the two countries. I wanted to ask you, though, about other countries' responses to the war in Ukraine. Of course, the United States standing united with European Union member nations, NATO nations as well, with their support for Ukraine. Although, of course, Ukraine is not a NATO nation here. But we've also seen Iran partner with Russia, China coming out in favor of Russia, Iran, Syria, as I said. What does this tell you about how you're viewing these other world powers and how they stand in the ongoing war in Ukraine?
It's look like we do have our new axis of evils. It's Russia, China, and the mullahs regime in Iran. And we are talking about 2.5 years ago, Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, he ordered the bloodbath all over the country in 200 cities. This regime, with the direct order of Ali Khamenei, they killed more than 1,500 protesters, mostly the students in the street because of the peaceful protest. And you know what? These people, Putin, they are killing over there in Russia, their oppositions. In China, they are doing that. In Iran, Supreme Leader is doing that. Yeah, these serial killers, serial murderers, they can just meet with each other and build their allies together. But definitely, United States should do a lot better job to put together the ally and get ready for this disaster, which these axis of evil they are going to cause for the world.
Speaking of the United States, our Congress is hosting Ukraine's First Lady. She will be addressing Congress later this morning here. What do you anticipate sort of to hear from the First Lady of Ukraine, and what additional, assistance do you think she might be requesting?
I'm sure an entire world have been shocked by the response from President Zelensky. I was invited to go to his inauguration, and then I said it's too close to Russia. And after my book, Comrade Ayatollah, I cannot go that close to Russia then. But right now, it's sad. I should be there definitely. Zelensky and the First Lady, they showed the courage, ultimate courage, to lead their country and to show to the world that Russia is not that huge monster that everybody thought. Yeah, it's possible to get rid of Russia from the world's map, probably as an empire. And her speech definitely at the Parliament, at the Congress in the United States, will be very interesting to watch. And hopefully they will get more help. They didn't ask for boots on the ground,
right,
but they asked for some
definitely
equipment,
military assistance and financial assistance as well. Amir Fakhrآور joining us with his thoughts this morning. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Still ahead, coming to a border near